Greetings and welcome back to the Galley of the Sun. So today we're going to do a little bit of Japanese cooking. We're going to make chicken karaage. Now, karaage is a Japanese technique of frying lightly breaded things, mostly meat. We're doing chicken karaage today. You could do squid, you could do shrimp, you could do other types, but we're going with the chicken today. So what makes it Japanese? Just lightly breading it? No, it's also the marinade that goes with it. And that's what we need to get done right now because it's got to set for about 30 minutes. Now, we're going to get that in the marinade, let it set, and then we're going to get it breaded, and then we're going to fry it at about 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Then we're going to take them out, heat our oil up to about 350 to 375 and fry them a second time. So in between the two fries, you can't just have chicken karaage by itself. So we're going to make some Spam fried rice out on the griddle in between the two fryings. So let's get that chicken in the marinade first. So what I have here, what is down in the description is what you need for 1 pound of chicken. As always, feeding a horde here at the Galley of the Sun, so I have 3 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs that are cut into 1-inch cubes basically. You can use chicken breast. I just absolutely love the dark meat, so that's why I go with that. So into a bowl that goes, and then our marinade. So what I have here is soy sauce, sake, sugar, ginger, oh, and of course garlic. So we're gonna get all that mixed up, and then like I said, we're gonna let this set for about 30 minutes at room temperature. If your house is crazy warm for some reason, try and find a cool place to put it. But the method behind our madness here is that we want this chicken to come up to about room temperature. That way, when we put it into our oil, we don't lower the temperature so much. Because doing 3 pounds of chicken like this, I'm definitely gonna have to do this in bunches. So we don't want to wait forever for the oil to heat up in between bunches. All right, everything looks good and coated there. I'm going to wash my paws, and then 30 minutes from now, we'll go to the next step. All right, so it's been just about 30 minutes for the marinade, but not quite. So that gives us time to make some sauce. What you can do here for your dipping sauce for your chicken is absolutely endless, but it all starts with Kewpie mayo. We can put some Kewpie mayo in there and put some garlic in it and have some garlic dip. We could put some Kewpie mayo in here and put some sriracha for a little bit of fire. But I know my family loves Parmesan dips, so we're going to get a couple tablespoons of Kewpie in there. We're going to add, we're not going to do Parmesan, we're going to use our magic cheese that we make here at the Galley of the Sun, which is a mixture of Asiago, Romano, Parmesan, and Mistra. And then to thin it up just a little bit, some 100% all natural moo juice. Get that whipped up, make a minor mess, as we tend to do, and we'll get that in the fridge. We got the time, we got the Kewpie, so let's make another. So, once again, get some Kewpie in the bowl, add some garlic, some minced garlic, mix it up. What director? Would you like some sriracha sauce? Director likes it hot. That's why she likes me. All right, last sauce for the director. A little bit of mayo and a little bit of sriracha. That all mixed up, and all 3 of those into the fridge so they can set up before we are ready to eat. All right, so now we're going to take a gallon-sized Ziploc bag and put in our cornstarch. You can do this in a bowl, but too many times I have got myself horribly dirty doing that. So we're going to use the bag method. And we're going to add our potato starch. Get that sealed, get it mixed up. I've got the oil warming behind me. I'm going to check that temperature. I am looking for 325 degrees Fahrenheit. And of course, I took my eyes off of it and it's at 425. So I'm letting that cool down a little bit. But in the meantime, we've got our starches mixed together here. Now we're going to get our chicken into the bag, just enough for our first batch. So I think we're going to take about 4 batches here to do this. So I'm going to put about 1/4 of our chicken in there. Trying to keep as much liquid as we can behind. If some garlic tags along, that's fine. That's just fine. Okay, we're there. All right, paws are washed. get that sealed up, because if you don't, that cornstarch and potato starch just goes everywhere. It is amazing. Make sure we get everything fully coated. All right, now into the oil at 325 degrees for the first fry. We're only going to fry these for about a minute and a half. Is that going to get the chicken fully done? No, it isn't, but that's okay because it's going in for a second time. Plus, that residual heat that it has when it sits on the tray to get the oil off of it is going to cook it a little bit more. So we're going to be just fine. If you're using white meat, you want to be very careful because if you get white meat overcooked, it is dry, 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 dry. That's why I use the dark meat. It is very, very forgiving. You would almost have to set these things on fire to have these not be juicy if you're using thigh meat. Really. All right, so it's time to do the first fry. If you hear any strange noises in the background, it appears that there is a cat fight that is brewing. So hopefully they keep it down. But if you have cats, you know, you can't make them. All right, so let's get that first batch into the fryer. Okay, let me reword that. Let's get the first batch in the oil. I would absolutely 100% love to use a deep fat fryer on this, but since we are cooking at 2 different temperatures, I have to do it on the stove, which is a lot more work. My fryer does not allow you to adjust the temperature. It goes automatically to 350 to 375. Maybe you have a better fryer. If you do, bless you. I don't. All right, so shake as much starch as you can off of them and then gently lower them into the oil. Like I said, we're going to go for about a minute and a half here. And remember, each time you put chicken in there, it's going to lower the temperature of your oil, so make sure you give it a good look before you start your next batch. Okay. If you have to, give them some gentle turns to make sure all sides get crispy. You definitely should not see any white powdery stuff on there. All right, we're out here at the griddle now. Let's get this puppy fired up so we can make some fried rice. Like I said, the director's in there getting the chicken done for us. She's a trooper. All right, so we got all our ingredients out here. I have my rice that I cooked yesterday and then kept that in the refrigerator overnight. Then I have all the ingredients. I'm not going to put amounts down in the description because fried rice is an art. It's what your family likes. So what I have here is some Spam. Now, don't knock the Spam. You get it good and crispy, it is absolutely delicious. I've got some sesame oil, I got some garlic, I got some soy sauce, some sesame seeds, some diced green onions, a diced carrot, got some butter, because you gotta have butter, 3 eggs, and some water chestnuts, that sliced water chestnuts that are quartered, because I absolutely love the texture and I know my family does too. This works for us. Personally, I absolutely hate peas. Hate them. Hate them. Fergie is the only pea that I'd ever consider liking. And she's not part of the band anymore, so there you go. But if your family likes peas, put peas in there. All right, let's get it cooking. First thing we're gonna do is put some olive oil down so we can get our Spam good and crispy. Got that down, get it all spread around, and on goes the Spam. I've got that already diced up in little chunks. If you want to, you could do this in slices. It's going to make it a lot easier to get it crispy on both sides and then cut it on your griddle. I don't want to do that with my knives, so we're doing it this way. So we're going to let these just set on one side for a good 3 or 4 minutes to make sure we get at least one side crispy. In a perfect world, I'd have every side of the cube crispy. We know they're not going to cooperate when I go to flip them and everything, but we're going to do our best to get a crispy edge on at least 2 of the sides of these cubes. If we get more, that's a bonus. As you can see, some of the pieces of Spam is flipping itself, so that tells us we're probably ready to start mixing it up and trying to get the crispiness on a second side. All right, I'm liking where we're looking right now with the Spam, so the next ingredient that needs the longest cooking time are those carrots. Right now, they're pretty hard and everything. We want to get those on the griddle and get those softened up. All right, time for the next step. Let's get all this scooped off to the side. Let's get some butter down. And on that butter, let's get our rice. We need to get our rice warmed up, and we want to get a little bit of it a little crispy. because that's a beautiful thing for fried rice, where you get those little crispy pieces. Make sure we get it all smashed out. If there's any lumps in there, we don't want that. We want a bunch of individual pieces of rice. Get that butter all spread about. Get it good and spread out so we got a lot of surface area, so all of that's getting good and warm. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my Spam and my carrots on top of that, because they're already warm, so they're going to be given heat from above. Now we're going to get our water chestnuts in there, get those mixed in. Over that, we're going to get our sesame oil drizzled and our soy sauce, and then get all that mixed up. Now we're going to clean this up a little bit. Let's get our garlic over here going just long enough to where we get that incredible aroma, and then we'll mix it in with our rice. And we're there. It does not take long. All right. I'm chopping as I go through there to make sure I don't have any big clumps of rice that hasn't got mixed with the soy sauce and the garlic and the Spam and everything else. Now, we'll break our eggs into this bowl. That way we aren't trying to pull them off of the hot griddle. Okay, success. Get those on the griddle and get those cooking. Get the yolks broke up and get that egg cooked. All right, let's get that mixed in with our rice. And the final two ingredients, we'll get our green onions in there and our sesame seeds. Now all we're doing is mixing and making sure it's all the same temperature. No, that is looking gorgeous. All right, so the director's been nice enough to put the chicken through the second fry, and that's what we're doing right now. So we raised the temperature back up to about 375 after doing that first fry at 325. Put the chicken back in there. You're cooking them for about 2 minutes. You're looking for crispy and done. And I've tasted some that she's already done. Oh, it's good. In fact, let's give one a try. Oh. The marinade with the soy sauce and the sake really comes through. Very, very good. All right, fried rice. So I got a bite here. Let's give that a try. Make sure we get everything. Flavor's spot on. The green onions and the water chestnuts give it the texture. Absolutely amazing. You definitely want to try this. Hey, I hope you enjoyed what you saw today. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. You want to never miss one of our episodes? Then hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it, and it'll let you know every time we release an episode. Thank you so much for joining us, and until next time, fair winds and following seas.